Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 1 of K-Drama Combos. Today we'll be talking all about how we got into K-Dramas and K-pop and that kind of thing. So I guess do we want to start off introducing, like saying hi, our name?
Okay.
You go first.
All right, I'm Mai, and I'm the mom here of the duo.
Of the duo,
obviously. And I got into K-dramas. Well, it was pretty hard to figure this one out.
Yeah, this took us we were discussing this in the car.
For a long time.
A good, probably 30 minutes, literally trying to figure out when and what we started with. It was, kind of funny. It was really hard.
Yeah, because I didn't keep track of it back then.
No, I didn't either. So say, approximately what year did you start?
All right, so around the beginning of 2017.
For K-pop or K-dramas? K-pop? Probably.
Well, it started with K-pop. K-pop started everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, oh.
And then what was funny was that it was my son that introduced me.
Yeah, that was pretty good too. Super Junior?
Super Junior.
Yeah,
oh,
okay.
And it was that video.
You have your list.
I have my list. It was the video, it was the song called No Other.
Okay, I don't know that one.
It was the one where they are all, they have little hearts, and they're all trying to get the girl with their hearts, and it's super cutesy.
Maybe you show me. I don't remember.
Okay, it was from 2017.
Okay.
Well, the song was even older than that. But anyway.
The song was older. Okay, so
I started listening.
Wait.
What?
I haven't said hi yet.
Oh
my goodness. How could you?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. I'm Monica. I'm 15. I'm finishing 10th. Yeah. Last time I said I was graduating 10th. That's not the right way to say it. Right. And did we say 18? Most likely.
You were about 18.
Mid to end. And I was into K-pop first. You played it, so I knew it.
I played it all the
don't worry.
time. And it was
it was
5
terrible.
songs.
Oh my gosh.
At the beginning, I only had.
It was awful. And then I watched anime and read some manga before I got into K-pop and K-dramas. I think before we were introduced to it. So I liked Asian content.
Well, when Simeon was a freshman in college,
my older brother,
he brought anime.
It was a Ponyo, a Ghibli film. So okay, and then I'm not sure what my first K-pop thing was. I don't really think I really had a first. It was more probably you playing it. And then once I got Spotify, that's when I really started getting into K-pop and then probably at the time K-dramas. So do you remember what your first K-drama was? Do you remember?
I think it was She Was Pretty.
She Was Pretty because Swan Choi.
Choi Swan from Super Junior.
Right.
I discovered,
from Super Junior.
That he acted. So yeah. I don't even remember how I found it. It might have only been on YouTube.
Who knows?
Because I don't think I knew about Vicky at that point.
No, probably not. So best guess it was She Was Pretty first.
She Was Pretty.
For you in 2017-ish. Yeah. For me it was 2018-ish. I have actually no idea how you got me into it. Do not remember at all. But our best guess is that I either watched Goblin or What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. One of those two shows was my first. Yeah. We don't know which one. I've seen Goblin twice at this point, and I've only seen Secretary Kim once, but I don't remember being oh my gosh, I don't have that clear vision of that's when I started. Right. I don't remember that.
Well, a lot of the stuff at the beginning was something I watched already.
Oh, a lot.
And then I watched it again with you.
A lot now is still that, because you've seen way more than I have.
No, but now the new shows
we watched
together.
So you watched probably She Was Pretty first. And then...
But see, at the time, I was also into, if anybody has any clue, Fahrenheit.
Are they still...
They are not together anymore. No,
which is
what's called Mando Pop.
So they're Mandarin.
So that was Jiro Wang and Aaron Yan. So I
know those names. I haven't listened to them.
Every possible show that Aaron Yan was in, and Jiro Wang.
Yeah.
And And
so that was like Mandarin or Chinese shows
Chinese
you also
shows,
watched
right.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've watched more Chinese than I have. I have not seen many.
Yeah, I have quite a list.
I've seen like freaking 2. Like, I've seen 2, and one we're currently watching is amazing.
Well, see, I would watch it after everyone else would go to bed.
Wow,
I
you
would
kept
watch
it
TV.
secret. No,
Not
really. Not
Yeah.
really. And then we don't really know how I got into it. I already knew about K-pop. You played Move by Taemin. Oh my gosh. Do you know what year that came out? What year was that?
That was October
of what?
2017.
17, okay.
So it was that first year that I was into it. I got
it's a good song, but I can now listen to it, but I couldn't stand that song because you had like 5 songs in your freaking playlist of K-pop.
2 Super Junior songs and 2 Taemin songs. And
played them. Okay, we play K-pop on repeat now, but it was a lot more annoying when you had like 3 songs.
Now my Spotify list for K-pop is
hours.
like 7 hours
so
long. So you don't hear many repeats.
Right, yeah. So do you remember any of your other first dramas? Like, other than She Was Pretty?
Oh, well, Boys Over Flowers.
Oh, Boys Over Flowers.
Boys Over Flowers. That was...
one of your first?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, because after I
was gonna say,
watched She Was Pretty, I couldn't find any more Choice One stuff. Mm-hmm. Because at the time, I didn't have Vicky.
We didn't have Vicky at that.
And actually, I think I finally found Vicky... and I watched Boys Over Flowers with
ads?
With ads. Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're kind of we were so used to it.
But that was when I discovered Lee Min Ho.
Oh boy.
And this then was a whole I talked
thing.
About him
it's funny because I remember you being so into Lee Min Ho, but I don't have a distinct memory of you talking about it all the time. I guess I probably wasn't into K-dramas at the time.
I don't know. You guys made fun of me.
Did we?
For how much I talked about him.
I mean,
because every time I watched a new show,
you would talk about it?
I would talk about it.
Which is weird to think that I didn't watch it with you, or like I hadn't seen that show yet. Is super weird, but you were really, really into Lee Min Ho.
Well, I was super impressed with his acting.
Oh yeah, and you also didn't know,
especially when you compare it to the other people in Boys Over Flowers.
Oh, okay, we'll have to do an episode.
We can do a whole episode on Boys Over Flowers.
Oh no, we will, because it's interesting. You've seen Boys Over Flowers like 3 times, well, 2.5. Like you skipped.
I don't know. I might have seen it 4 by now.
Boy, you kind of used it when you were bored. You would watch.
When I didn't know what else to watch, I would pick and choose episodes.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it just straight through. I would always skip certain stories.
I know which ones you would skip, and I've only seen it once, but I did see it, and Lee Min Ho was really good in that show. And I would say, what are some like the other? I don't know what other ones I watched at first. I really have no idea. Like I remember watching Hwarang. I remember watching Descent of the Sun for the first time. I remember the second time we watched Goblin because we were really annoying because we watched it with my dad and well, your husband. Well,
that makes sense.
And we were really annoying because we'd seen it and we would like freaking belt the like intro.
Oh my gosh.
Us not knowing how to sing, obviously,
or sing Korean.
Is that
on top of it?
Yeah, a lot of it's in English though, isn't it?
Yeah, but there were certain parts that we just
made
up what they
exactly. And then we would be so annoying, like ooh, I know what's coming. We were so annoying.
Oh yeah.
But Daddy did really like that show.
He did well.
He dealt with
us.
I mean,
he actually really enjoyed the show.
He really enjoyed the show, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really remember any of the other shows that I started. We're terrible as we don't remember. But did you start with Chinese and Japanese shows like sooner or later or?
Well, I didn't get into Japanese shows
till you had Vicky.
Till I had Vicky. Yeah, because finding them on YouTube is really hard unless you know the title. Yeah. You can't just search Japanese TV shows.
Yeah, it doesn't really come up like that.
But then I liked trying to find live action versions of manga.
Yeah, you've seen the live action of, what's it called?
Hanakimi.
That
Hanakimi was made in Japanese, Chinese, and...
Have you seen all 3?
Was it made in Korean, too?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
To the Beautiful You, right? That's
Hanakimi.
The
Beautiful You.
So have you seen all 3?
I've seen all 3.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But you saw the Japanese first. Or the Taiwanese.
Wait, have I seen the Japanese?
Maybe you know. I think
maybe I haven't.
No, so you haven't seen the Japanese of Hanakimi. I think it was the Taiwanese.
That's the Taiwanese version.
Taiwanese version.
That had Jiro Wong in it.
I know. So Hanakimi, I assume was probably called that. I mean, the Korean one's called To the Beautiful You, but Hanakimi, the Taiwanese version
was called
edition
Hanakimi.
Or whatever, was called Hanakimi.
Yes.
And that one you probably watched earlier on. I
watched that at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know any other Japanese ones you watched at the beginning, or did you not watch any Japanese at the beginning?
Oh, I watched Mischievous Kiss.
Oh, is that... Oh, that's one we watched recently.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then... What about Good Morning Call?
And that was the next one I watched,
okay.
Yeah.
I've seen those too. You've seen... Oh my gosh, the amount of Japanese you've seen compared to me is... I've seen more anime than you, and I've read way more manga than you have, but I have not seen a lot of live action. What's the live action called? I watched the anime.
Kimi ni Todoke.
Yes, oh my gosh, I was trying to...
Yeah.
I can't remember. Have you seen that more than once or only once?
Oh, I've seen that.
Like multiple times.
2 or 3 times.
Oh boy,
yeah.
Oh boy.
That's one of the ones, that's a good go-to one that's just... I know the story. I know it's super
It's feel good. It's like your comfort.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it recently.
Not recently, no. I wonder if that's on Viki.
I have no idea.
I don't think it is. I don't think they have that
Okay,
yet.
so why don't we go ahead and list the places that we've watched K-drama, Japanese, Taiwanese, whatever.
Right.
Chinese, whatever.
Okay, well, I started with YouTube.
I've seen clips on a lot of clips on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I tend to go to YouTube for Japanese stuff that I can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, you look everywhere else.
Netflix is another one, but we can't get a lot of Japanese on Netflix.
No,
there's a lot of Korean.
Oh yeah, for Korean dramas, we watch on Netflix mainly Viki. Mm-hmm. Viki is the main one we watch on.
Oh, and I sometimes use Asian Crush.
Yeah. I don't really use that.
That's another one where you have to know the title.
Yeah,
you can't search by
language or genre.
You can search by genre, sort of, but not by language.
Yeah. So, is there any others that we've used other than Asian Crush? I don't think so.
That's it.
Other than a pirated site here and there, I don't think we've...
Kiss Asian or
whatever it was called.
Yeah.
We saw the best, not the best. One of the best. Wow, I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Scarlet Heart.
Yes.
But so we've watched on YouTube. Well, you've seen YouTube, Asian Crush, Netflix, and Viki.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Netflix is probably a really good place to look, because most people already have a Netflix subscription already, right?
People do, yeah.
And then Viki, when was that we got Pass Plus? It was like Christmas?
We waited until we got our Christmas movie.
Yeah, we waited. We were very excited.
So it was the beginning of...
This year? Was it? Yeah,
it was January.
It might have been December. No. But we got Viki. We have been watching Viki with the standard pass for a while. It'd been a good while. And then
2 years.
Probably at least 1 or 2 years. And then we were getting tired of certain shows we wanted to watch were only for Pass Plus members. Right. And eventually we got it, which you don't need it. You can watch stuff on there for free.
You can, but if you want certain newer shows,
certain stuff do have to have at least the standard, but they now update it so it marks it if it's free, standard, or plus. They mark it so you have to click on it.
Right. Yeah.
They used to be that we would
very helpful.
Oh, it's so much nicer.
Oh yeah, we would find a show,
would click on
read the summary, and get all interested, and then
you click on it, and on the episodes, it would show that you can't watch it unless you have the pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was always a bummer.
Yeah, and do you remember anything about your first time reading subtitles? I don't really remember. But...
Well, see, I don't have a hard time with subtitles, partly because I started with a lot of Chinese shows.
Oh boy.
And their
it's very different. It's very
so much
different.
faster.
Yeah, it's very different.
So reading the subtitles for Korean is easier.
It's easier,
than Chinese shows.
I would say, at least. I mean, for me, I find, I think I don't know if I had, like, done subtitles for anime or if I had just watched dubbed shows before I started. I mean, but Japanese is still different, like, pace-wise than Korean. But I mean, Japanese and Korean, I'm very used to their pace and how to read the subtitles. I mean, every now and then you'll get a person who talks fast. That's sometimes hard, but Chinese is very different pacing than, I would say, at least to me, the pacing and speed seems very different than Korean and Japanese. Not like super, super different, but different enough that the first Chinese one I saw, or the only other one I've seen, which is what's it called? A Love So Beautiful, which is super cute, which now has the Korean version. We started and then didn't keep watching because it was the same.
We liked it, but there's so many other shows to watch.
I know, but like, and we had already. I think it did pretty well, but we had already seen the Chinese one and really liked that one. We just didn't get around to really watching the Korean. But with that one, I don't really remember when I first started Korean, but I remember when I first watched the Chinese one, how different the subtitles seemed. Just the speed of them and the pacing was very different than Korean. But it's not like it's impossible. I just had to get used to it, and then I was fine.
Oh, well, and it's interesting, speaking of different subtitles, the difference between watching a show on Viki versus watching the same exact show on Netflix. Yeah. How sometimes the translation
is different. Yeah, well, yeah, of course it's going to be different because it's translated by different people. It's just sometimes, I don't know what show we've done that, where we like, maybe it was, I don't know what show we've done that with.
But we've noticed when they translate it differently than what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
Like when they translate a name and they say their name, but they're saying Ajusi or they're saying something else.
They translate instead of saying just like Oppa or Ajusi, especially saying Oppa or Uni, they'll translate instead of just writing Oppa, they'll write brother, which is what it's not brother, it's older brother, but
so many more connotations to Oppa than
it's not
just your simple brother.
Well, it's not brother, it's older brother, but yeah, that was definitely like, it didn't really matter. It didn't, like, ruin the experience. No. It was just different. Yeah.
Well, that helps us learn vocab when they don't translate.
Vocab. Why do you say it like that? The vocab. Or food. Sometimes food. On Viki, they use, like, the romanization. They'll say, like, tteokbokki instead of saying spicy rice cake. Exactly. I mean, we know what that is. There are a few things it came up, and we didn't know what it was, and we definitely paused to look it up before. Like,
pausing. We are the world's
Oh my gosh, we're probably worst. So annoying to watch.
It's funny because when our family will walk through the living room or walk by, we'll have the TV up and paused, and we're both sitting on our phones looking something up.
Usually it's looking up an actor or actress that we're like, oh my gosh, I recognize them. What have I seen them in? We do that all the time. If we're starting a new show, we'll like pause it and then be like, hold on, I gotta watch.
We want to know all the details. Like, okay, so the main actress, how old is she?
Well,
what has she been on? What's the age difference between she and the lead?
We sometimes have it later. It depends, but
we always find that out at some point.
Not always, but
I
guess you do on your own there. But most of the time, it's like it's looking up what other shows we've seen them in, and almost every time we look it up, we're like, oh my gosh, duh, that's what we've seen them in before. And it's Asian Wiki is our friend.
Where Annika is really good at recognizing faces.
I'm better at recognizing faces than you are, which is weird.
But I'm better at remembering their names.
Yeah, I guess. Which is ironic because we both suck at names. Yeah. So we apologize. We're really bad at names. Yeah. We are terrible.
We would rather call them by their real name.
Oh, yeah. We'll call them by their Oh, yeah. Even by their actor name, or their actor name. Whoo! Their real name. We're really bad at remembering names, but we'll try.
Like, we'll take a quiz on YouTube of actors, and
what was the one where
we can name every show we've ever seen them in?
Because I think I tend to, because I'm bad with their names, but I'm not bad with, like, the title of shows and stuff. Yeah. I'll associate them with whatever show. Be like, so a lot of time if we're talking about something, this is ironic when it's, like, in front of other people. We're like, oh, you know what's his name from, like, Weightlifting Fairy? You're like, oh, yeah, he was in that other show. And they're over here like, we never said the person's name, but we know exactly what each other is talking about.
But we have gotten better.
Slightly. A little bit, yeah. I'm better at, like, if we start a new show and this person comes on to the screen for the first time, like, I know what they're in. I'm like, pause it. And I'm like, oh, aren't they the person that we saw in this and they were this character? You're like, really? And I'm like, yes. And I look it up to double check. Half the time.
Most of the time you are right.
On the right. Not always, but a lot of the time. Or when, so yeah, we'll end up having the TV pause and us on our phones every now and then. Yes. I mean, that's more when we're starting.
Do you think we probably pause at least once an episode?
Yeah.
Because we also pause to discuss.
We pause to talk about it.
Yeah. Because you can't read subtitles and talk at the same time.
Yeah, that's very true. It doesn't work very well. So sometimes something will happen in a show and we'll pause it to talk about what just happened or what we think is going to happen because of that.
Or why they said what they said and what their reasoning was behind
We're like, oh man, their feelings there. It's because of this and that. Like, we definitely talk about that a lot. And it's kind of...
And we'll do that here. We'll talk about why we think the character did what they did and said what they said.
Part of the reason... And, I mean, we don't just talk about while we're watching. Like, it was in our... our little trailer. We mentioned we talk about it a lot of times first thing in the morning is what we said. And that's very true. We have a terrible morning routine. We'll come downstairs. So I have a tendency to not even get food first. And we'll sit down and start talking. Sometimes it's about anything. It could be about anything. But a lot of time it's because after we watch TV, we'll go to our bed and then be on our phone for a little bit before going to bed. Yeah. A lot of time we'll update each other on what we saw or show them this funny video we watch or something
or the latest K-pop album release.
Oh yeah, I was saying this earlier how you would think that me, the young 15-year-old can I say, yeah, that sounds weird, but whatever, would be the one updating you about, like, the latest in K-pop. I mean, K-dramas, it depends, but you're the one who updates me about album releases, single releases, their comeback, and...
the latest video.
Yes. Yep. Which, literally right before we started recording, you told me Eric Nam had
Eric Nam has a new
one.
Song.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet. But you're the one who updates me and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Totally. But we'll sometimes find out about a new show or a show we didn't know this actor was in. And that morning we'll tell the other person and stuff like that. Or in the car, that's like probably half of our discussions. Oh, yeah. I don't know how we met.
We analyze stuff in the car like crazy.
The car is probably our main...
Well, it's because we have no one else there.
It's usually just us.
To interrupt us.
and we're not annoying. We're not annoying anybody else. It's just us two. And we'll basically just talk about in the car all the time. I mean, we're most of the time when you're in the car, it's like just me is the other person most of the time. We're like, we even told
every Monday we spend the entire day
we do grocery
together.
Shopping and then we spend
but when we say grocery shopping, we don't just mean we go to one store.
They're like 5.
We go to like 5 stores. And it takes the entire day.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun
because we can discuss
while
we listen to K-pop the entire time.
Yeah, we talk over the music almost the entire time, which is like not a bad thing. I mean, we'll sing along to it or something. Or we'll play the game because we're terrible at names and everything, we'll play this game where, like, each time a new song comes on, this isn't all the time, but each time a new song comes on, we have to, as quick as you can, before the other person, name the song title and who it's by, and we're sometimes really terrible and sometimes really good. And we'll sometimes be like having a normal conversation mid-sentence as the song goes to the next one. We'll immediately stop what we're saying and name that song and then just continue on that sentence and stuff like that.
Or sometimes, like, I have an international playlist. We'll put that on and we'll have to name the language that it's in.
Yeah, we don't do that as often.
Not as often.
Because usually it's me playing the music.
Right.
Because you're driving.
I'm driving.
You're a little busy. Yeah. And then we usually try not to talk about it when other people are around because we're annoying. Yeah.
Some people find us annoying. Some people find us a little entertaining.
Like, I've explained, like, what the I Don't Love You Yet, the Japanese, what's the other title? In Time With You is the other title. Yeah. The Japanese show we finished watching, like, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. My dad, he was sitting in the living room close to when we had started it. And he just so happened to be in there and it was asking about what, who was who and what was happening. Just because he was there. Right. And then he, every now and then when we had it on, he would recognize, look and recognize, because we watch in the living room, he would recognize the characters and be like, oh, are they still dating? Oh, are they still doing that? And then when we finished it, I came down and he was there at the table and I was like, oh, we finished our show. Like, it was really good, but man, it was over. And he's like, I mean, I was the one who brought it up first, but he was like, oh, how did it end? And so I explained to him the ending, but he already knew the characters. So right. I'll tend to end up explaining stuff to people who aren't interested. Sometimes.
And you're really,
oh my gosh,
really bad at summarizing.
I'm terrible. Well, for me,
her summary, which should be like, 4 sentences, winds up being 4 paragraphs long.
So I'm terrible. Especially with TV shows, because
like our family could probably tell you the entire plot to Hospital Playlist because
no.
We talked about it so much. We were such detail.
Dude, we were so annoying. That's all. Okay, we talked about that show
every night. We watched it every night. And we talked about it at dinner almost every time.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it at dinner all the time. We were probably so annoying. Mm-hmm. And the one time, it must have been at least for like half hour, I told them in stupid detail about the plot and what was happening so far. It was probably Daddy and Simeon were probably the only 2 people who might listen.
Everybody else will leave.
Fair enough. And we're over here enjoying ourselves, like, talking about it, and they have no idea what's happening. I mean, we're trying to explain,
but they're nice and they nod and smile.
Yeah. But us talking about shows, usually it's you telling me about a show because you watch more on your own than I do, way more. I don't watch like any K-dramas.
But now I've stopped giving you the endings of the shows.
So what tends to happen is that she'll start a new show and she'll tell me about it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, this is the main girl and this is how they, do that and that. And then she'll stop halfway through explaining it because she doesn't want to tell me the ending. I don't want to
spoil it.
Yes, but I tend
because inevitably we'll watch it together.
Probably, yeah.
Especially if I get to the end and I'm like, this was good. Annika would like
and
this.
And you're like, you gotta watch this. Yeah. But you tell, okay, to be fair, you usually tell me in detail about characters too and plots.
I do.
It's not just me.
Yes.
But you'll tell me in like pretty good detail about the character, their personality, where they, what the setting is. And then you'll stop halfway through explaining it. Which I understand why, but sometimes I'm like, what if I want to know?
So it's easy to get Annika interested in a show like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you gave me the play-by-play on In Time With You because I remembered certain things about that and I had never seen it before.
Right.
But the X, that's all I think. No, I don't think you gave me the ending, but I do remember you mentioning that she worked with shoes and that she had an X. That's like all I remembered.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So how many shows, I guess, to date?
To now.
To now. That's correct grammar on its own. Have you seen?
That I've completed.
That you've... No, I think I might have some shows in there we didn't.
Oh, that I didn't complete. Okay, so how many shows I've watched?
That you've watched.
Well, Korean shows.
I was gonna say you have separate lists.
I have watched 120.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and
that's a lot. That's like a lot.
Other Asian shows,
which is
Japanese, Japanese, Taiwanese, and Thai.
Yeah,
I have watched 62.
Oh my word! Okay, the amount. Hold on, let me pull up my list. Hold on a second. The amount of other shows you've watched is almost the number of Korean I've watched because you started.
Well, I watched a whole year
before I started, and you still watch stuff on your own. I don't at all.
Right. Well, I tend to watch the non-Korean stuff without you.
Yeah, you tend to watch the Japanese.
I have to save the Korean stuff.
Save it. Oh my god.
To watch with you.
But
which we do every.
Oh yeah, we do that every night. So we usually watch in the living room, and we always sit on the same side of the couch too. Like every time.
Oh yeah, it's our assigned seats.
It's our assigned seats, and I always take the remote. I like being in control.
Yes, power.
And if we're right by the front door, so if someone walks in, the first thing they see is us sitting there. And we've had it where if you're down there alone, or if like no one's watching down there, they'll be like, especially if you're down there, like they'll be like, "Where's Annika?
Yeah,
like, why isn't she watching?" That happens all the time. Okay, my number of shows to date, unless I missed any, because I didn't keep this list at the beginning, is 76.
76.
I have not hit 100 yet.
We'll have to have a party when you hit 100.
Oh boy! Oh, that'll be our episode. Annika hit 100 shows. Oh my goodness! Unless I missed a few that we watched recently, I don't know if I did because I sometimes forget.
Got to put them on the list.
And I think I've seen 2 Chinese, which is Love So Beautiful, and our current one, which is super highly recommended. Haven't finished it yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's not done on Viki yet. It's called Miss Crow and Mr. Lizard. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
it's so good.
So good.
And it's brand new, so it's still airing.
Yeah, it's still. I think it might be done airing like on actual network, but on Viki, there's like 6-7 episodes left to come out. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. Super good. I recommend. But I've seen 2 Chinese, and I have seen.
Are you counting your Japanese?
8 Japanese.
8. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's not good. Okay, mind you, I've seen more anime than you have.
That is definitely true. Wow, I've seen a lot of Japanese.
You're more than you thought.
I have more. Okay,
so with the Japanese, you usually watch them on your own when you watch Japanese.
But I tend to do the same thing with the Japanese movies that I do with the Korean, or not movies, Japanese any shows. Yeah. I find an actor I really like.
Oh, and you follow them.
And then I watch.
Like you do with Lee Min-ho.
Like I do with Lee Min-ho. I do with Kento Yamazaki. I follow, I watch.
Do I know them? Are they from
He was in A Girl and Three Sweethearts.
Oh, the
yeah. He was also in Alice in Borderland. That was his 2020.
Right.
That he was in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much Japanese. I like it though. Mm-hmm. The one we just watched was good. There were some annoying characters, but it was good.
Right.
Not annoying.
And we saw one recently that we've watched. We watched in 1 week. We watched it. We took 1 week off.
No.
2 weeks, maybe
2 weeks, and we rewatched.
And then we rewatched.
Okay,
the
it's
whole
really
thing.
short.
It's short. It's totally bingeable.
What's it? 7 episodes?
7 episodes,
and they're like 24 half hour.
Oh yeah,
24-minute to half hour is how long they are. And we've seen it twice.
In-House Marriage Honey. It's called.
Oh yeah, In-House Marriage Honey, or I can't remember what the other one for, but it's on Viki. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's for your standard. I have no idea, but we've seen that one.
It's totally adorable.
It's very cute.
It's
very cute.
Yeah.
Other than a few scenes here there, other than that,
they're fine. They're fine.
Like nothing happens. Like
they're a married couple.
Wow.
It's all legit.
It's all legit. We're good. So yeah, I mean, why don't we mention what we're watching currently? Okay. Which is, are we watching I think we're not watching a Korean show.
We're not watching a Korean show currently.
No.
Really?
I don't know how that happened. Well, we were waiting for us to set up this podcast, and we're planning to watch Navalera.
Yes.
Super excited.
And we've been putting it off.
Yes,
putting
we've
it
been
off
putting it off.
until we got this podcast
I made you not.
up and running.
I made you not watch it. But we're currently watching... Oh, yeah, we just finished In Time With You, which is Japanese. And now we're watching Miss Crow and Mr. Lizard, which is Chinese, or it's in Mandarin. I don't think we're watching... Well, have you finished Oh, It Is Romance yet?
Oh, I still have not finished
Okay, so you're watching a Korean show.
Yes, I'm watching a Korean show.
We have our whole K-drama podcast, and we're not watching
Korean right now. That's...
I guess we took a
break
to watch the Chinese one.
But often what we'll do is if we're watching something that's super heavy, which we don't often.
No.
But if there's a character that annoys us too much, we need to take a break from them.
Yeah, we'll do that sometimes.
And then we'll watch a Japanese or Chinese
or
thing.
We'll watch just a different Korean one too. That happens a lot.
But we did that one time and we never went back to it.
What show?
Well, we were watching a Chinese show, and we never went back to it.
To what, Chinese? Oh, yeah.
And because I was like,
you were done. It was
done.
longer than you were used to.
Yeah, the Korean TV shows are the episodes
and the length
don't go on forever and ever.
Yeah, which is part of the reason we prefer like the overall length, 16-hour long, maybe 20, depends on the show.
Don't even try and give me a show that has 7 seasons.
Oh yeah, we're not.
Which is why part of the reason we don't watch American TV.
No, we don't watch much at all. At all.
No.
It's too long.
It's too long.
And Chinese shows, the ones that we've looked at, tend to be longer. I don't know why.
Right. I don't know.
Like General's Ladies, the one we started, and I want to finish it, but you haven't.
Yeah.
And it's just too long for you at least. I don't remember how long it was. I think it might have been 45 minutes, not an hour. But
there was one we started where it was Tale of Noctu.
Oh, yeah.
We started, and then one character who we liked, he seems like a really great guy, and then it was revealed he turned out to be an evil character, and we didn't even discuss it. We just stopped. We're like no,
that was the big reveal of the end of one episode.
Right.
We must have just stopped watching that night, and we even talk about I don't know if I really want to watch that show. We just
picked something else.
We just stopped. It's annoying because I liked the main characters. I liked him, but then he turned evil, and we're like, no.
The show is probably very good. We just couldn't handle that one character. There's no way we could.
I guess I couldn't take him seriously. I don't know. Whatever. Or we'll sometimes do if we're watching a more serious historical, we'll watch a lighthearted. We have a bad habit of starting a new one and then
starting the lighthearted and
binging it.
Yeah.
And then having to go back to the other one. Mm-hmm. And then you forget everything. You never remember. Yeah. So I think we should probably wrap up. We've been talking for a while.
Yeah, okay.
And
wait, we didn't talk about what we would recommend to somebody.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Who
okay.
It's like, hey, that sounds interesting.
Okay,
what should I watch?
What would we recommend to a newcomer?
Okay, now mind you, this is really difficult for me because I have to pick from a list of 120 shows.
Oh, you do. I'm so sorry.
Now mind you, some of those are web dramas, which are really short.
Oh yeah, some are short.
And a couple of them were movies.
A couple are movies, that's true.
So easily, but there's probably 100.
Oh, definitely.
Dramas. So I came up with...
Oh, you wrote it down.
I wrote it down. Everybody has to see Boys Over Flowers.
Okay, I don't know if that's a good one for newcomers.
For starters?
Because it's so... Nothing's wrong with being old.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so someone who's never watched I would say Secretary Kim.
I was going to say anything with Park Seo-joon in it.
Anything at all. Anything at all. Secretary Kim.
Secretary Kim's a good one.
It's not heavy.
Right.
It's not heavy. Or Fight for My Way. That one's good too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know what are less heavy.
Oh, Weightlifting Fairy.
Oh,
that's
definitely.
Really
or Strong Woman. Strong Woman.
Strong Woman's got a little bit of that Korean silliness.
It does.
That not everybody can
can get the
handle
comedy.
and
I don't know, but the rest of the show's so good though. Definitely weightlifting.
But weightlifting,
that's a great show. Okay, historical. What is a
Moon Lovers?
Moon Lovers. Oh yeah, if anybody knows where to get Moon Lovers Scarlet Heart Ryo, we need to know where.
Yeah, we're probably just gonna buy the DVD.
Yeah, so we've almost already bought it at one point. I would say Hwarang. That's pretty approachable. It's very approachable. It's somewhat of a comedy, I would say, and there's some serious and mysterious,
but it's fun.
It's definitely
all the idols
fun.
in it, and all the pretty boys.
All the pretty boys in it. I think there's only
one
idol.
Yeah. There's more idols in
Moon
Lovers.
Wait, no,
that's just a bunch of pretty boys too.
That's how. Yep, there you go. That's all that.
That's why we watch comedy shows.
Oh boy. What's on Netflix? Because Netflix is a good place. Crash Landing. Oh. Hospital Playlist is on there.
Playlist.
Oh boy.
Is, you might as well watch Hospital Playlist now.
Oh yeah.
So you're ready for
June 17th. Let's
season 2
go. Are we too excited about that?
We are not too excited about that.
Probably.
No.
We talked about that show to the point we were
ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum. Is that what you used? I don't know how to say it. I'm like, I don't know. But I don't know. Well, Crash Landing's on Netflix. Startup, we haven't seen that yet. Don't judge us. We just haven't seen it.
Man to Man.
Oh, Man to Man was really good. Yeah. Okay, okay. Now suggest. Yeah. Okay. Look on Netflix if you haven't seen it. Look on Netflix.
Look on Netflix.
Totally.
And you can search on Netflix under Korean TV.
Yeah.
Which is very helpful.
I can't off the top of my head think of what else is on there that we've seen.
One Spring Night.
One Spring Night's a little heavy. Can be.
When the Camilla Blooms.
Oh, Camilla's so good.
King Eternal Monarch.
Yeah, that's
on
good.
there.
Okay, so
there's a lot on there now.
There's more than you think. Oh, Airs is on there.
And when we look back at these, I just want to watch them all over again.
I know it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
So Airs is on there. Would you recommend Airs to a new?
Oh yeah.
Airs.
Airs is almost like Boys Over Flowers
in more modern day. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And
it still has Lee Min-ho in it.
Oh boy, it does. Okay, so just someone who's seen dramas. Like if they've only seen a few, so they don't it doesn't have to be super approachable because they've already watched it.
Goblin. Definitely. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Goblin 30 but 17 was really good. Hospital Playlist, make sure you definitely watch that. Mm-hmm. True Beauty.
Descendants of the Sun.
Oh, definitely. Oh, obviously, I didn't have to mention that one. Crowned Clown. Would you say that one?
If you want a really good
historical one. Or we're currently watching Mr. Sunshine. Don't judge us that we're only currently watching it. We're watching with 2 other people. We
have to wait on their schedules, so we watch it once a week.
We watch it once a week.
And we only get 2 episodes in. And it's like
we're watching it while it airs on TV.
It's taking forever. Yeah.
So someone who's seen it before.
Oh, Legend of the Blue Sea. Notice all my things
obviously
have either Park Seo-joon or
Lee Min-ho
in them.
1% of something.
All right, now we've gone overboard.
Okay.
Now we've
our top. Okay, name a historical for people who've seen stuff before. Scarlet Heart. I'll name Scarlet Heart or the Crown Clown.
Yeah.
Lighter one.
Lighter one.
That's a lighter one.
Well,
Goblin. Goblin Descents of the Sun. You gotta see because those are 2 of the big ones.
Yeah.
I would say. That's probably good. Those 4 are good amount, I'd say.
Yeah.
You're looking for more. That's a really long list.
It is.
So we'll have to have a whole episode about what we recommend.
Our top 3 in each genre.
Oh, that's gonna be really hard.
In each genre, you can split it all up.
To each genre, we only watch one genre.
Well,
whatever. But I think that's all for today.
But we've got lots of ideas.
Oh,
and
boy.
Lots to look forward to.
Oh, I have a long list of what we're going to talk about. I'm very excited. Yeah. So, we hope you've enjoyed. We definitely rambled in the middle. Sorry about that. But, see you guys.
All right.
Say bye.
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 Bye.